I would say we all probably have those moments, but maybe that's something we can come up with our own anthology, like short stories where, we can plausible deniability, come up with a character. It really wasn't us, but stranger things have happened, perhaps.
No kidding, there I was,
There,
right?
no shit, there I was.
I
Well,
can
to
imagine as a troop commander, Don had a few of those within his command structure from time to time, but
I
yeah.
had by the one of the There I Was stories when I took over, it was at Fort Hood and the unit was standing up from scratch, and they had made the mistake of shipping all the E4 and below to the unit first before kind of the adult leadership got there. And so we had some growing pains. And the first time I met my JAG officer, because as commander, you have a JAG officer you talk with all the time. She was very formal and she's like, here's my cell phone. If you need me, call me. So the fourth or fifth time I'm calling her at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, Deirdre, here's what I know. Do I have probable cause to go in? And she's like, just a minute, just a minute. And she would go through the things and do it. And so it was, I used to call my squadron commander. I would let him sleep till about 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And I would call every Saturday morning because I had some Joe that was in jail in the process of getting jail, that I was getting out of jail. And it was in the days before caller ID, but his wife by month 2 would just say, hello, Don, how many are in jail tonight? And I'm like, hi, Michelle, just a couple, but the weekend's still beginning. There'll be more, I'm sure. And it was just every time I'm like, this is when my career is going to end. This is when my career is going to end. But I will also not say their names, though. One of them appears as a character in my Clancy books. But when we got to Germany, we had 2 knucklehead lieutenants that were kind of the epitome of knucklehead lieutenants. And coincidentally, they both became Green Berets after our tour in Afghanistan, where they were more suited to this. But these 2 jokers were in my best friend's troop. And he called me up and he's like, hey, man, we were supposed to do something with our families. He's like, can you take care of my wife and kids? I got to go on a drive because I got to get these guys out of a German jail. And I'm like, did they get in a fight? What did they do? And he's like, no, they got drunk and stole a bicycle. So 2 aviators on the bike together and they get taken to jail. So it's not just enlisted people who do stupid stuff.
Right. We do have what we call the E4 Mafia, though. And that crowd of specialists, when I got in the military, we had specialists all the way up to E7 and things like that. And then they backed it down and gave you hard stripes and things like that. But the E4 Mafia is renowned for a lot of things, and chaos is one of those. So, yeah.
I guess Navy's got the E5 Mafia, so yeah, we might be a little bit strange from you guys, but it still exists and it's very real. And yeah, next time we all get together, we'll get some beers and I will regale you with some stories.
Gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, like trying to flee country before the SEALs get arrested stories. So there's some good stuff, but gents, this has been a blast. Do you have any final thoughts before we go ahead and wrap things up?
Well, I just like to say thanks to Don. He's an inspiration. I've got all his books back here. I'm finishing up your latest Clancy one on Audible, and really helps me at the gym and keeping my mobility going and things like that. But yeah, you've been an inspiration, and I love reading. You're the reason I went into first person. I love writing that way. From it being shocking the first time I read it to being writing now in that way. And when I have to go back into third person, it's tough because it's hard to, it's hard to go back. But thank you so much for being on and being an inspiration. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks for the kind words. I just have to offer you a word of caution, because if we get to be too good of friends, I might put you in the books. And what I do is worse than kill people. Is I have a lot of friends from the special operations community and I put them in the books, but I changed their branch. And so my friend that's a Ranger is a Navy SEAL team leader, what he actually hates. And then Jad in my Clancy book says a real guy who's a Navy SEAL in real life, and I made him a Green Beret, which he's not fond of either. So be very careful. You too could end up a chief in the Navy, like our friend Ama there.
Well, finally, my family would read one of my books because my whole family's Navy and Merchant Marine. So when I went in the Army, I was black sheep for about 3 years, and couldn't come home to California, that kind of thing. So anyway,
awesome.
it'd be an honor to be in one of your books. Thank you.
I was about to volunteer until I heard that. Like, nope, I'm good. Great.
You would make a fine ranger, Ama. Like, I can see that about you.
Either that or a top sergeant, right? Command sergeant major. Welcome.
You think I was hard as a chief? Just wait. All right. Thank you so much, gents. I look forward to doing this again. This was a blast.
Absolutely.
Thank you.